Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Mixed Media Mayhem, and I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to follow the recipe. I'm going to create a background, and I'm going to put a photo mat on the page, but I'm going to wait until the load prompt, the layout a day prompt, comes out. I'm recording this on Thursday. I'm going to use Friday's load prompt, and I'm going to do the layout, finish the layout off camera on Friday morning. And I'll leave my Instagram and Facebook links in the description box below the video, so you can go there and see how it turned out. So the recipe for this week's Mixed Media Mayhem is circles, buttons or brads, and string, thread, or ribbon. So I'm going to kind of do something maybe a little bit monochrome. I'm using these Vicky Bouton stencils, all three different stencils from the Print Shop collection. And I'm using Print Shop stamps. I'm using this one right here, this Starburst, and this Dottie one. I'm using these circles from the Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous. I forget what the name, it's grunge background stamps. It's a collection of stamps that I love. I especially love that one. And I'm using a smaller circle stamp from this visible image set called Shape It Up. And I'm gonna use it in maybe brighter colors. I've got this, this is thread that has an an adhesive backing. It's a beautiful stitch, and I'm gonna maybe try to form some circles on the page using this, maybe kind of around the photo. Not quite sure about that. I've pulled some buttons, some real buttons and some fake ones from my stash, and it's in the color scheme that I'm planning to use. The inks I'm using are Evergreen Bough, Peacock Feathers, and Cracked Pistachio. So we'll see how this turns out. And my photo mat is this. I will select the photo and maybe some additional embellishments so that I can follow the technique prompt, whatever that is. I'll try to add that in, but I'll pick something that works. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to put the photo on, assume that it's going to be landscape, or do I want to assume that it's going to be what's true is that if I place it on here landscape, and if we get a technique prompt to use more than one photo, I can print two vertical photos here. And likewise, if I put it that way, I can have two horizontal photos. So there's a lot of flexibility in this. And I love the wood grain back there. It actually has hints of aqua kind of showing through in the grain. So I think that's going to go well with the color scheme. So right now I just want to get some circles on the board, and we'll see where we're going from there. I'm going to start with these circles, and I'm just going to kind of brush with this brush and very lightly kind of get some cracked pistachio circles out there. not wanting to get it perfect, just some hints, and then I'm going to continue them down here. Okay, so very light hints of circles there. And that's probably all I'm going to use of that, except I may go back and do... What I want to do now is I'm going to take this stencil, and every once in a while, I'm going to get the stencil kind of over, but a little bit offset. And I might do some evergreen bough, let's say on that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. Some of them that I had colored in the green, but you can kind of see what that's adding to it. And I'll come do some here too. Kind of have one going off the page there. So I think I've got plenty of those. I want to do one up here near the top of the page. Okay, I really love this. This is the most incredible stencil set. I would recommend that if you don't have it, you break traffic laws to go buy it. It's amazing. Let's see. I want to do a few flowers on here, but what I'm gonna do is a little bit of there we go. I just kind of want to place them not necessarily over a circle and not even necessarily adjacent to it. In some cases it might cross over. Just a couple little things like that. So that's all I'm going to use the stencils for. And now I'm going to use the stamps. And I'm going to ink this stamp in the lightest color, which is the cracked pistachio. And I'll do it kind of right there. And right here. There, I kind of didn't touch any of the crosses or the flowers. Here, I'm going to touch a flower. I don't mind how that looks. That may be all I use of that. Let me put it off to the side here. And now I'm going to take, also in the lightest color, I'm going to use this Dottie stamp, very lightly applied in a couple places. Again, not particularly trying to overlay the circles perfectly. So now I'm going to use the medium color, which is the evergreen bough, and I'm going to use just this circle outline, and I'm going to kind of maybe, there we go. I think 3 might be all we need of that, because I have some other goodies to put on there. So let me put that there. Now I'm gonna take actually I'm gonna go back to the evergreen bough, and here I'm gonna ink this up, and here I am gonna try to go right over one of the original circles. And see, that's the exact same color ink, but one is done with a stamp and one was just brushed on with a brush. And you can see how it stands out. Now, without re-inking it, I'm going to go back and do that, which comes on very light. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'll do one maybe right up in here. And then without re-inking it, I'll come down and do it right there, very lightly. Okay, now my last stamp that I'm going to use is this one, and I had in mind that I would do the peacock feathers because I'm going to kind of use that as a kind of a contrasting accent. So let's see, where would I want this shape? I'm going to try to put it somewhere away from these clusters because it's a similar kind of collection of circles. Okay, that's good. And I don't really, I think I might use it like right over in here. Okay, and it's pointing a different direction. I'm going to do one down here in a completely different direction. Okay, now that's given me some spots to maybe look to put some of those buttons, but I think right now, before I start doing any of that, I want to place my photo. And I think I'm going to place it this way. I may regret that. Let me see. Now, I think I'll do this. I hate covering that up, but that's kind of the way it goes. I actually should just put some adhesive right here, and then I can take it up and turn it around. Let me do that, actually. And I'm going to do that by adding another piece of foam behind it, like so. Cut a little bit of that off, make sure nothing shows underneath it. So I'm just for purposes of finishing this video, I will put that, and also let me distress. The more I look at those circles, the happier they make me. I'm extremely happy with the selection of colors, and I really like all of those stamps and stencils, just amazing. And I'm tearing this in places, and I'm going to kind of bend it over and curl it and kind of really give it a distressed sort of look. Same here. And now I'm going to put it right here, and if I have to, I can lift that up. Okay, now I need something that is going to be a form, maybe like this roll of washi tape. So I'm going to put it right here, and I'm going to try to, well, why don't I just draw around it, like that. And then I'll try to shape this around it. I got this, I have my best friend from high school lives in Colorado, and she owns an antique store, and she does lots of handmade crafts that she sells in her antique store. And she had sources that I could only dream of. And we went to this one place called Who Gives a Scrap? And it's not about scrapbooking, it's about all kinds of crafts, but everything that's in there could and probably has been considered scrap by someone. And the store itself was, you know, disheveled looking and disorganized, but there were some amazing finds. And one of those was this, this is pre-made stitching that has adhesive on it, and for someone who doesn't sew, I can't use needles. You know, if you take blood thinners, you know why. And okay, so that doesn't look much like a circle. I need to bring it in, maybe there. And I can add a button or something, like if I do this, you won't notice that so much. And this one, I'm just going to maybe do around the corner, and I'm going to freehand it. But again, it needs to go in and then come out and around. And this one actually might end up looking better than the one that I actually traced. I say that, and then I mess it up. I'm trying to keep the adhesive part down and still work it around a curve, and it's hard to do because the adhesive side kind of wants to keep coming up. Okay, and again, a nice big button right here will hide this rough edge. So that tells me where I need a couple of buttons. And you know what? I bet I have some flare that would work. I've got this flare. I don't want anything with too much of a pattern, and I've got that. What I want here is a small, I want to use a small foam dot, 2 small foam dots separated so that they can go over the thread, like so. Okay, so that seems to work. And then I can add a button down here to kind of make something of a trio. Let's do that. Okay, and here I could use, it would be better design if I use the flare there, but where I really need it, actually I kind of need it on both sides, don't I? So let's do a piece of flare here that actually kind of comes over the photo. And then I'll do a button over on that other side. So here I'm going to put the dot, the foam dot, and I'm going to add a little adhesive, liquid adhesive. I'm going to put it right here, and there won't be anything there. Actually, I maybe want to double these up and do it the other way. And that way I can slide my photo under it. Okay, I'm pressing that down so it adheres to something in the background. And it's not doing it. Let's see if I go like that. That will work, I think. And I can always fix that later. So let's do a different color button, maybe right here down under there. And I'm going to put some dots on either side of this button so that it can sit on top of that thread. There we go. And then I will add a little accent button inside this circle. And it's in that peacock feathers color. I've got another one that's in that peacock feathers color. Put it there. I'm clustering the buttons around the photo cluster. And I like kind of putting them, since there's a space theme in LOAD this month, having these circles and then putting the buttons there, it kind of looks like planets in orbit or something. I kind of get a space vibe out of this, don't you? And the correct answer is yes, of course, Kathy, it does. It does have a space theme. Let's do this here. And then I'm going to add, these are little adhesive brads, they call them. Let me do another one, maybe right there. And then one here. And that actually brings the eye to the fact that that's not stamped perfectly. And I think that's okay. And I think we're done, actually. So tomorrow I will finish this with a photo and whatever other trims. If it says use the color pink, I've got some pink buttons. If it says use 2 photos, or if it says use lots of straight lines or triangles, I can always stamp some of those onto the pattern. But basically here I have fulfilled the recipe for circles, buttons or brads, and I have both string, thread, or ribbon, and I've got thread. So tomorrow, what I put on tomorrow is just the extra seasonings. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy playing with your circle stencils. And if you decide to take on this recipe, join the Facebook group. That link is going to be in my description box, and place your pages in the album, and we'd love to see what you've made. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.